Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob continuing the operator file narrations for the various characters in Arknights. And today we are in the second to last category before we make a pass through the top again. And that is the support section. And honestly, before recording this, when I came into this section, I was like, I have at least 3 characters here. I can probably pick one of them. Well, as I said before, Skadi falls out of the picture, even though she is 200% an E2, which fulfills the criteria for this narration. But, as I also said before, operators who are alters or have alters will always be paired with them in their character progression order. Considering that Skadi starts out as a guard, that will mean that I will feature her together with her original form once we get back to guards one day, and we're gonna go through 6 stars. So that will be a while. And as for these two, it has to be Magallan, considering that Angelina here is not 200%, even though I was kind of convinced that she was. Suzerain, sadly not E2, also not 200%. Gnosis is a fresh addition, so he is ways off. But I do have a couple of 5 stars, so once we are in the in this category again in a couple of weeks from now, I'll have my pickings. But anyway, we are here with Magallan. Well, I don't have really much to say about her as a unit, considering I very rarely use supports outside of very specific niche things, because my usual teams are literally like, I don't know, 2 vanguards, 2 guards, 1 or 2 tanks, you know, sort of rounded up. So I never get to really use supports or stuff outside of Skadi, and they're not really leveled up, and there isn't. This is the poorest section out of everything in this game. Everybody else has a bit to scroll through, especially these shitheads. My God, there's so many guards, too many. But yeah, I also don't really use summoner type units, so I can't really say much about her outside of her personality and stuff. And also at the end of this video will be on the screen linked. I did already do a narration for her module story, so if you're interested to listen to that one, feel free to hit the link that will be on screen. But for now, let's get into Magallan, one of Rhine Lab's employees, which is probably the most interesting. There is interesting things in this file. From what I read, there is some interesting stuff. But yeah, for now, let's begin with the file. So, basic info. Codename, Magallan. Female. Combat experience, none. Place of birth, Colombia. Date of birth, October 17th. Race, Liberi. Height, 160 centimeters. Infection status, originium crystals not present on the body, confirmed uninfected by medical examination. Physical exam, physical strength, standard. Mobility, standard. Physical resilience, excellent. Technical acumen, excellent. Combat skills, normal. And originium arts assimilation, standard. Profile. Magallan is a field specialist employed by Rhine Lab, operating under a cooperation agreement with Rhode Island. She is currently based with us as she prepares to launch a new expedition. Magallan is skilled in the operation of highly modular drones, using them for attack or support as the situation dictates. Clinical analysis. Imaging tests reveal clear normal outlines of internal organs and no abnormal shadows have been detected. Originium granules have not been detected in the circulatory system, and there are no other signs of infection. At this time, this operator can be confirmed to be uninfected. Cell Originium assimilation 0%. Operator Magallan shows no sign of oripathy infection. Blood Originium crystal density 0.14 units per liter. Regularly operates in unknown environments, must take appropriate protective measures. Archive file number 1. Originium overview. Luthra Workshop and Rhine Lab developed Luthra Workshop and Rhine Lab Development joined forces to create Magallan's custom-made exploration suit. It includes a wide variety of sensor systems, as well as an Egret-type support drone. Multifunctional service sensor systems, high temperature, low temperature, high pressure, all environment work capability. High endurance, high efficacy, high efficiency, guaranteed operation time. Error tolerance less than 1 mm, meets the highest standards. Improved laser port for measurement, attack, radiation, one tool with many functions. Internal systems come with all the latest software for your convenience. Egret type support drone. Pre-installed modules 4. Number of drones that can be controlled under normal operations 2. Number of drones that can be controlled under redacted operations 5. Backup drones 3. Be sure to equip your drones as appropriate for the situation on the ground. Module list. R23 module. High efficiency refrigeration module. Default operations impede targets capable of freezing on activation. LRBD module. Laser mining module. Default operations fire an industrial laser at the target, capable of increasing power output for a short time upon activation. Number 66 module. Armed attack module. Default operations make use of the survey apparatus's assault port. When enabled, attacks a target within range. Activation greatly upgrades the assault port. Redacted module. Effects unknown. Please contact the module technician for more information. Huh? What's this support supposed to be? Am I not a caster? What's going on? Caster operator ZR's note upon reading the report. Archive file number 2. As a field specialist for Rhine Lab, Magalan has participated in numerous exploration projects over quite some time. Her primary area of interest is sparsely populated ice sheets. Whether this is out of personal fascination or habit at this point, we cannot say. Normally, she sets out in early summer as to return before the start of winter, gathering data herself from the unexplored land to the north of Rhine. During the last round of personal transfers, Magalan received new orders, and she began preparing to move her base of operations to Rhode Island. Prior to arriving at Rhode Island, Magallan's resupply was largely handled by experienced couriers, thanks mostly to security concerns. As such, she is familiar with a number of logistical firms. Interestingly, Magallan seems to have a good relationship with the boss of Penguin Logistics, Emperor, such that some operators have expressed envy. Why exactly that is, no one can be certain. But we can only say, penguins be penguins. Archive file number 3. Magallan's cabin was built with a small secret compartment, which upon getting approval from the operator responsible for corridor engineering, was allowed to be expanded without changing the internal structure of the ship. We won't have any problems with illegal alterations like with Meyer's workshop. The compartment remains rather small, but is big enough for Magallan to conduct her research. One wall was turned into a large display screen, showing the results of her recent expeditions, including her notes and theories, as well as photos of important places taken in the field. Specimens and test results litter the room, and although she has done her best to keep it all organized, one can't help but feel a little overwhelmed by it all. Rhine Lab's research projects involve a lot of cutting-edge technology, and some projects are beyond the capacity of even Rhode Island's researchers to analyze. If somebody cried out in the cafeteria, "Are those Rhine Lab people all geniuses?" it wouldn't even raise many eyebrows. But if you climbed up into Magallan's lab compartment, you'd realize it's not just raw talent that produces such results. It's also an entire cabin's worth of effort, and more. Archive file number 4. From the black flow of Bolivar to the high plains of Casimir's to the submerged volcano of Iberia, Terra holds countless gems worth of exploration. But humanity's curiosity has long been obscured by the haze of conflict. Magalan stands alone in the desolate deserts of ice, away from relatives, friends, and the comfort of civilization. She seems to have little to keep her company, except the ice and snow in her hands. Even though the results from her expeditions yield great research value, there are many who cannot understand the choices she makes. However, Magallan's motivations are simple. The goals she wants to pursue have always been crystal clear and unwavering. The nursery rhymes that were whispered into her ears as a child told her about the icy lands of the far north that had been forgotten by humanity, finally reduced to legends and tall tales. The final verses sung of ancient history lost and buried beneath the ice, never opening their arms even to those who would try to remember them. These fantasies have long been Magallan's reality, praised as a child, doubted as a young woman, and criticized as an adult. While no one can understand her choices, the motivations for Magallan's constant exploration stems from her love for the pursuit of knowledge and the persistence to chase her dreams. Rhine Lab opened their doors to her, and after submitting her application, she chose the code name that she still uses today, Magallan. Promotional record. Magallan, a researcher. I remember her. She's very open-minded, good to all of her colleagues, but you know, survey operators go out on expeditions, on extremely long missions. I imagine there's very few people who could put a face to her name. Maybe Ifrit and Mulces are the only exceptions. They get along very well. After all, there aren't many people at Rhine Lab who can settle Ifrit down. And Mulces, not Mulces. Can you imagine what Magallan and Ifrit call her? They call her Mew Mew. Ify and Mew Mew. Magallan, the researcher. All I can say is she's really something special. You could say she's really something different from us science punks. Freaking Ify and Mew Mew. My god, that gets me every time. Mew Mew. Anyway. But yeah. Not much in her file besides probably the most interesting part being about her drones. One of them being a known module for the drones, whatever that one does. Then the funny thing that also gets mentioned in her in the short story for her module, her being acquainted with with Emperor. I mean, for fuck's sake, she even carries a Emperor little hang on her gear. And yeah, but the one thing that is kinda interesting, and that is always, like in reality, the thing about rhymes and stuff that talk about ancient things that are forgotten to time, and here talking about stuff being lost to the ice to the north, beneath it, buried. Interesting. I wonder if that is gonna have some kind of payoff in the future. But yeah, anywho, let's go now into the voice files, which means I'm gonna mute myself and let the penguin girl here do the talking. So I'll see you for the end.
次の探検に出るまでは ずっとドクターのそばにいるよ。何か手伝ってほしいことがあったら遠慮なく言ってね。ドクターのことは前から知ってるよ。そうそう、メイヤーちゃんやミュウちゃんたちから話をいっぱい聞かされてるから。だからどんな人なのか自分の目で見てみたくてロドスに来ちゃった。あとお土産も持ってきたよ。ほら、このペンダント、これはね、皇帝ちゃんからもらったの。え、あの皇帝ちゃんだよ、ペンギン急便の。あそこに行った時何回も会ってるんだけど、これがめちゃくちゃ可愛いの。ついいっぱいモフモフしちゃうんだよね。モフモフはしたことない？怖い？なんで？イフちゃん、もう元気になったかな？この前 LINE 生命から出てきた時はなんだか調子が悪そうだったからすごく心配だよ。メイヤーちゃんの新作メカは出てるかな？最近この手の研究が全然できてなくてさ、そろそろ一緒に何か作りたいなって思ってるんだ。そうだドクター、いいこと教えてあげるよ。メイヤーちゃんはね、仕事中に邪魔されると髪、もう噛みつかれたことあるの？私のドローンはミーボ、シーシュポス、ココシカなんかとはそもそも操縦原理が違うから一度にたくさん飛ばせないのはしょうがないんだよ。でも新しいシステムも開発中だからそのうちねお楽しみに。極北ね、あそこは寒くて過酷だけどきっと私の夢と理想がどこかに眠ってるんだ。夢を叶えるためなら努力を惜しむつもりなんてないんだから。軒下に佇む小さな庭師と小さな花、目に留める人は誰もいません。この本、イフちゃんが昔好きだったな。主人公と自分の名前が同じだからかな。でもイフちゃん、本のことを何も覚えてないみたい。どうしたのかな。北の地はね、とても神秘的で美しい場所だよ。高い崖に雪に覆われた大きな木に光り輝くオリジニウムの結晶、それから地の果てまで広がる雪。ドクター、一緒に行こう。私と一緒にね。いいでしょ？ドクター、寝ちゃダメ。ここで寝たら死んじゃうよ。このセリフ一回言ってみたかったんだ。ライン生命観測員マゼラン、未知なる探査船を発見って。君はロドスのドクターだよね。私の探検隊に入る気はない？毎日ワクワクが待ってるよ。効率改善、アップデート完了。システムの反応速度がこれまでの倍になったよ。ドクターが私の研究成果を見たいって言うならちゃんと私の実力を見せてあげなくちゃね。先に言っとくけど私の凄さに腰を抜かさないでね。探索と支援なら私に任せて。みんな密に連絡を取り合って行動するんだよ。ピピー。設備の調整があとちょっとで。よし、ドローンの調整も OK。 いつでも飛ばせるよ。おお、私の技術が必要でしょ。お仕事スタート。システムオールグリーン。ターゲットが位置についたね。よし、ドローン起動。いけー。雪の照り返しでめくらましたよ。3、2、1、いっけー。お花ちゃんたち咲き誇れ。気をつけて。スキャン範囲外のエリアはまだ危ない。もう片付けた？さすがドクター、頼もしいね。周囲に敵反応なし。まだ敵が残ってるけど追いかけた方がいい？囲まれてる。私のせいだね。ごめん。床暖房まであるの？もう最高。あれ？ねえドクター、スケート行こうよ。私がついてるから怖くないよ。アークナイツ。 何？
Alright, and that will be it for this one. Well, the final note, all I can say about her is adorable. I think that describes her pretty much. But yeah, anyway, this has been Jacob. There should be a link on screen for the narration I did for the module short story right now. So if you're interested to learn more about this little penguin girl, feel free to click the link and well, let's just say she brushes shoulders with death in that one. Oh my god. Anyway, this has been Jacob. Thank you all for listening, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.